what I want to do right now? Save. Because I don't like going anywhere with that specific dungeon music. Cave of Darkness. I came from Fargabad to improve my skill. The monsters here can't be killed with normal swords, instead they'll just split in two. So that's general advice for this area. You can tell we're going to be fighting a lot of these. Oh wow, Death Claws. You know, an enemy that we've already seen about a jillion times already. Okay. Really regretting keeping Dawn as a job class that can't defend. Because that means I either have to waste MP or waste an item just to skip my turn. Alright, so found... what is that? Lamia scale? What is that? Lamia scale cannot use, so it's an in-battle item, I think. Have no idea what it does. And to be frank, since I don't really use in-battle items, I'm probably not going to find out anyway. Alright, so we've got horses from hell now. And, you know, let's just cast Confu. Alright, so Hell Horse has, 6 legs. You know, why do horses have 6 legs? Because they've got 2 legs in the rear, and 4 legs in the front! Hooray! Except that joke is kind of crap, because nobody knows what a foreleg is. To those who do know, you can explain it in the comment section down below. I'm gonna turn on the lights. Because apparently there's something creepier about a guy at his computer with the lights out playing Final Fantasy. You can guess the sexual connotations for yourself. You know what, that's one of the weird things about Final Fantasy games and such, and... I mean, it's just... Final Fantasy should be about killing monsters and whatnot. And then we have the entire sections of the fanbase that are just dedicated to fawning over the female characters and stuff. I mean, it's just like... what's her name? Tifa from Final Fantasy VII? Everyone likes her. Rydia from Final Fantasy IV? Everyone likes her. And then, because nobody even played Final Fantasy III, nobody knows who, Refia is and such, unless they just now got the iOS version or the DS version or something. And then again, that's not much of a she's a hot character kind of thing. It's more of a, oh my goodness, adorable, thanks to this art style and such. And just like... Alright, you know what? I'm really wishing this game had, like, character different. I really wish I was playing the DS version of the game, because then I would use Refia for pretty much the entire fan service of this game and stuff. I mean... Make her the Scholar job class, so she should be a cute girl with glasses. Make her the Warlock job class, so that she'd have a witch hat and stuff. See? I don't know why, but everyone who plays Final Fantasy, including myself, just starts to fawn over female characters. I don't know if it's creepy or not, or if anybody else shares that sentiment or something. But I wonder if they knew what they were doing when they came up with introducing female characters into the series. Alright, so anyway, you alright? Seems I was not yet experienced enough. Please, take this. We received the Kotetsu. Do we already have a Kotetsu equipped? Yeah, we do. So, that Kotetsu is going to be pretty useless to us right now, since we only run one night anyway. Our party is a one-night stand. Oh, wow. I wonder if I'm gonna get away with that joke. Probably not. Alright, so we've got bats in our belfries, but don't worry, because Mikey's gonna build up and then Falcon punch them to death or something. But you see, these enemies are doing so much gosh darn damage to us. Or at least Leo, because he has, like, what, 28 defense? So Leo is essentially a glass cannon, and Mikey also counts as the glass cannon right now because he's using that ability to charge up and such. And there I go saying and such again, but hey, 10 hits. So now everybody was kung fu fighting, and I'm freaking out because I can't explain anything anymore without referencing some facet of pop culture. When it's just like at school and stuff, I was talking to my English teacher, and he was talking about how the things that you see, like, the things in your head are usually scarier than the things that are described to you and stuff, because the head can create some bizarre and disturbing thoughts. And then I'm talking to him about how does the bizarre and disturbing count like a nightmare about all the glasses in your house being filled with butterscotch pudding, and it's just like, well, that's alright because it's delicious, but then I'm just saying, but then I don't have any glasses to drink from, and I haven't had my meat yet. How can I have my glasses filled with butterscotch pudding if I don't have my meat? And of course then I'm explaining, and I don't have to explain it to him obviously, because, I mean, hey, who doesn't know who Pink Floyd was? But if, like, there was somebody who actually didn't get it, first off, I would pity them. I would pity them so much for not knowing anything about having pudding after eating your meat, because, I mean, that's really the only way it makes sense. I mean, you have to have your dessert after your meal. You can't have dessert before your meal. That's just silly. Who's ever heard of that? Unless your meal is just the dessert, like you go into a restaurant and you only order a dessert. I mean, some people do that. I've done that a couple of times, or at least once, I think, but I mean, that's pretty much the only reason I'd go to Starbucks in the first place, is just because, I mean, I don't drink coffee, but Starbucks has excellent desserts. Like, if you take me to Starbucks, I'm just like, oh, I'm not gonna drink the coffee, I'm probably just going to, like, go over to Quiznos right next door and just buy myself a soda or something. But, I mean, at least I'm going to have dessert here, and they're just going to be like, what? How can you not like Starbucks coffee? And it's just like, I don't like coffee in general. I mean, if I drink coffee, I usually have, like, half the cup is filled with milk and half the cup is filled with coffee. Like, I creamer the hell out of it and such, and we got Paralyzer. I really want to make a Finger 11 joke right now, but unfortunately I can't. I don't know why I can't, I just can't, because none of you people want to hear me singing Paralyzer incredibly badly. Because that's really the only way to go when you're singing songs that were once popular on the radio, and now for some reason you don't hear them even though they're pretty darn good. I mean, it's kind of similar to, Actually, you know what? The local radio station, like the county's radio station, stuff, 98.3 Star FM, they usually play, like, all the popular music of today and whatnot. I mean, they're playing Lady Gaga, and they're playing other stuff that I can't even recognize, and some of it doesn't even sound like music. But then, all of a sudden, I hear from my headphones on the way back home from school, because I take the bus. But I'm hearing them on the radio play One Headlight by the Wallflowers, and I'm just suddenly kind of freaking out right there, because it's just like, wait, they're playing this song! They're playing this song! They're playing One Headlight by the Wallflowers! I mean, did they play it before? Are they playing it again? Could they please play it more often? I mean, because that's one of the things. One Headlight by the Wallflowers is a song that... I don't know, I love songs from the 90s and stuff, and it's just like, you know the song, but you don't know who it's by. You don't know the name of the song. Alright, so I mean, there's songs like pretty much everything from the 90s. You know the song, but you don't know who it's by. You know, this is getting really annoying to have to, sit through all these battles and stuff and only being able to tackle one party member, so I realize the Viking Dom class is pretty much going to be useless to us anyway in this dungeon, particularly because despite the fact that it's a good defensive job class, defense isn't really what we need here. What we need is the ability to take out these enemies quickly, so therefore Tetsu in the right hand and Ashura in the left hand. Okay. So this will provide us with a bit more insurance against these enemies, and like we'll be able to damage these enemies quickly. I'm keeping Mikey the way he is though, because I mean, he's amazing just the way he is. The more song that like you know the song, but you don't know who it's by and whatnot. Like One Headlight by the Wallflowers was a prime example of that for me, because I mean, One Headlight and The Difference, like any Wallflowers song that I could have heard on the radio from their Bringing Down the Horse album and stuff, I didn't know who the Wallflowers were back in the 1990s, and I didn't know who they were back in the early 2000s, because I never really paid that much attention. Well, Secret Room? Do I dare venture into the Secret Room? I think I do dare. But like, I never knew who those bands were, because, I mean, I was pretty sheltered in terms of my taste in bands anyway. I mean, back in the 1990s, I'd listened to the Backstreet Boys, and does anybody remember them? Probably not. I mean, it was the Backstreet Boys and the occasional Foo Fighters song on the radio, and it was R.E.M., Talking Heads, Bare Naked Ladies. Bare Naked Ladies was a big one in my childhood and whatnot. Sing And Whatnot again. But I mean, I'm wondering, how can you not like the Bare Naked, or at least the old Bare Naked Ladies before Steve Page left? And then Steve Page just had to go and leave. And go off and do things and be awesome elsewhere. Are we going to level up anytime soon? How far away from a level up are we? Cripes. Alright, so where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we going? I realize I should never ever talk during these LPs ever again, because I always seem to get interrupted by random encounters. Anyway, Genji gloves. These are good for ninjas, and I think Mystic Knights can also use them as well. Yes! So finally, we have something resembling defense. Like I mean, just, yeah, 1990s music. And then it wasn't until you know what, I'm gonna tell this story, and it wasn't until I, just recently, when I started listening to other radio stations, that I kinda got into more of the, newer music, and more of the music that was part of the 90s, but I never ever heard. And it was until I listened to, radio online, on, like, internet radio sites and such, like, DC 101 station and iHeartRadio, that I started actually, knowing the songs, like, songs that I may have listened to in the 1990s, but never knew the band. Or songs that I never knew were by a band and such. I mean, I'm gonna say it right now. Without the radio, I don't know what I would be able to do with myself. I mean, without the radio, I wouldn't be listening to the stuff I listen to nowadays. I wouldn't know who the Stone Temple Pilots were. I wouldn't know. Or actually, a lot of that I can also owe to Guitar Hero. I mean, without Guitar Hero, I wouldn't have known who the Stone Temple Pilots were. Without DC-101, I wouldn't have known Weezer, and... I mean, I wouldn't have known Weezer, I wouldn't have known Nirvana. And, well, not knowing Nirvana, I still can't tell if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I mean... But it's just like, without... People take a lot of things for granted. If it wasn't for the... people need more of an appreciation for the radio. People need more of an appreciation for music-based games and games that have licensed songs and whatnot, because... I mean, that's how a lot of people get into music. Video games and the radio, those are great vessels for, getting into music. And you should always, like, compare your musical tastes with your friends and stuff, and always give everything a chance. I mean, it's kind of like that Mighty Mighty Bosstones song, The Daylights and stuff. Try everything there is to try. I mean, you don't know if you like it until you try it. Like, I never knew that I liked burritos until I tried them. I never knew that I would end up liking a Final Fantasy game because I had never played them before. Like, Final Fantasy wasn't part of my childhood until I got, like, somewhere in 2005, 2006, when I got Final Fantasy 3 and Final Fantasy 4 and such. I mean, really, you'd never know what you like until you like it. And I know that sounds incredibly stupid, but it's kind of like you don't know what you don't know until you know it. Like, you can go through your entire life thinking, oh, hey, I can do this, because you've never done it before, and... Say, for instance... I don't even know where I'm going with this. Say, for instance, something about... You don't know how to draw, I don't know, Mickey Mouse or something. But you don't know that you don't know how to draw Mickey Mouse, because you've never tried it, and the cat is meowing. No, but you've never tried doing it, so you don't know whether you can actually do it or not. And that's the same thing with, like, music and stuff. You don't know if you like something until you like something. Until you give it a try. I mean, for instance, I went through a portion of my life not liking Nirvana simply because my parents didn't like Nirvana and whatnot, and even then Nirvana's kind of a stretch right now, but it's a second one. Anyway, Basement Floor 4. This dungeon is so confusing, though. Let's go that way. Oh, God. So many random encounters. God, this is gonna be the longest recording session ever, because these friend... Alright, so, I know I said that I like random encounters, and that I like this game and such. This game sometimes does things that irritate me. These dividing enemies are one of those things. These dividing enemies are one of those things that I really don't like, mainly because they somehow manage to deal 1,500 damage. that's not the reason why. No, the reason why I don't like these dividing enemies is the fact that they render 2 of my party members useless at any given time. I don't need a heal, and oh, another Kikuijimonji, alright. This is definitely going to Raph right here. And now... Ta-ta-ta-ta! Okay, so we go down here... No. Yeah! Well, guess what? Guess what? 2 of our party members are dead. And we've only got 1 Phoenix down. Oh god. You know what? I'm probably just gonna cut this video off here. And this is probably going to be the only time I do something like this. This dungeon is gonna be a 2-parter. I'm gonna teleport out of here, heal back at the Invincible, and then take this dungeon on again afterwards. So until then, this is Toads Frog signing out. What have I gotten myself into?